Good morning, good morning, good morning. Buenos dias, ¿qué tal? Ciao, ni hao, dzień dobry. How are you today? Feeling good today. Here we are. If you haven't been here before, welcome. This is Ken at 10 because my name's Ken and it's 10. Welcome along. We're estate agents based in Southwest London in SW16 and we love Fridays. Do you? I don't know, there's something about Friday. One of the reasons is that for us in the property industry, it's when we set up all the viewings, lots of people have more free time of the weekend. And so Saturday's the busiest day of the week for us. And Fridays are the days when we're organising, making sure we have the keys, have the viewings, got them all confirmed. And it's exciting. It's fun to be meeting people again, most of all, not just virtual viewings, real viewings, meeting people, you know. Our business is very much a people business, and meeting those people is one of the great pleasures of our job, finding out their stories, their lives, and what's going on with them. Today we've got a lot of valuations booked and loads and loads of viewings going out as well. It's brought back that sad thing gazumping though. I say sad, it's just an inevitable consequence of a busy market when gazumping is when people bid over another bidder. So for instance, you could have a property that's under offer and then another bidder comes along and offers more money. Now, estate agents are duty bound to offer up the higher offer to the client by law, so that even if you've got a property under offer, there is a risk that somebody else could come along and make another bid, and that bid would legally have to be disclosed to the owner. It doesn't mean that the owner will necessarily accept. Quite often, in fact, more often than not, vendors will be quite loyal and say, actually, I'd rather stick with the existing buyer. Sometimes it goes the other way because there's more money involved. And, you know, you can understand it from the seller's point of view. You know, if there's 5,000 in it, maybe they'll swallow it. 10,000. The question is, at what point does it become such a serious amount of money that actually you need it for your family? And that's a real moral dilemma. But it's a horrible thing, gazumping. We hate it, but it does happen. Some agents, when they get another bid, will try and run two buyers together in what we call a contracts race. This is where two sets of contracts are issued to two different solicitors, and whoever gets to exchange the contract first wins. The difficulty with this is that it will be costly for the one that loses out, and also emotionally heartbreaking. So it's something that we don't like to do. And I know lots of developers out there do it, but morally, we think it's a bit reprehensible, really. Don't like it at all. We say to our clients, look, you know, here are the buyers. Here's our gut feeling. Your choice, of course. These are the circumstances. We always require proof to make sure they are who they seem to be, and then leave the decision to the vendors based on the facts in front of them. And then we ask them to choose, because we think that buyers also deserve a chance to actually go ahead without competing with anyone else once that bid is accepted. But of course, somebody else bids in the meantime, we're obliged to put that forward. And the level of that bid can mean that, you know, the vendors will jump. We had one just this week and our vendors stuck with the existing buyer, I'm pleased to say. But it didn't stop initial allegations of what's going on here, are you lot dodgy, that kind of thing. And we're not, we're transparent. We always call it like it is, and we try and be as honest as possible. We genuinely do. One of the things that we say is our core value, one of our core values is to be real, be truthful. And that often involves some difficult conversations, even in today's market, where we see properties that we know are priced incorrectly. And vendors are saying, you know, we're on with another agent and we're not happy, we're not sure what's going on. And that often involves a hard conversation about pricing. And that's always difficult to tell people that their home's not worth perhaps what they've been told by another agent. Quite often the other agents, particularly the ones with the high level, are either charging extortionate fees with very, very long tie-in periods, knowing very well that they can't achieve the price they quoted and hoping to grind the client down over time and justify their fees by the high valuation that they've misled the client with. So it's double frustrating for the vendors. And the other one's, of course, the upfront fees, because they don't care whether you sell or not. They're already paid. So commonly we find that the upfront fee model does lead to overvaluation, and that's what's confusing for buyers as well. Why is this one on for, you know, 900 and this one's on for 700? Very confusing. And the reason is that the sellers have been misled. I don't blame the sellers for this, but I do think that it is really misleading, and there should be some sort of consequences for agents that deliberately mislead clients, because it still happens every day. So yeah, apart from that, we're looking forward to a really busy day. One of the things that's happening is that the leasehold scandal seems to be involving, this is where new build houses were sold with leases, where leases were not necessary, and ground rents at double every 10 years, rendering those houses unsaleable. It's an absolute scandal and disgraceful that the big builders were doing this. And there's now talk of legal action against the builders for this, and rightly so. I'm right behind you guys if you're in that situation. Absolutely disgraceful that big builders would choose to prey on those that have no choice at the very bottom of the housing ladder. Terrible stuff. So good luck to you if you're involved with that scandal. The EWS scandal continues with the external wall surveys required for certain flats, and that's a real frustration. But apart from that, the market continues apace. Buyers are registering by the bucket load. Sellers too, lots more sellers out there. But don't run away with the idea that the property is definitely worth whatever you ask, because it's really not. You know, buyers are discerning. They're not going to spend this sort of money without checking how you compare. And there's an easy way you can check. Go and look on Rightmove and see what the competition would be at different price levels. You know, how does your house compare? Try and be honest with yourself. Look at what else is out there and say, well, mine would be favorable in competition with these houses, or maybe not. And if not, well, then it's back to the drawing board and maybe look at price. But more importantly, it's never just about price. It's about marketing strategy. You know, I always say if all other things are right, then yes, price is the pivotal factor. But quite often the actual marketing strategy is wrong. And there's lots to talk about presentation, making sure that the photographs are tip top, getting a proper introductory video, selling the property well, making sure that it's exposed not just on Rightmove and Zoopla, which is what everybody does, but actually on social media channels, just like this one. So if you're thinking of selling or you just need some advice, as always, we're here for you. Aside from that, it's a grey and cloudy day here in SW16, but with all the viewings going on, it's going to bring the sun out. Hope you have a fantastic day. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones. See you tomorrow. Take care.